What's up, beauty lovers, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do a TJ Maxx haul slash try on video. My mom was recently in town, so of course we did go shopping. For you newcomers out there, my name is Kaylee B, and this is my channel where we talk about any and everything beauty. If you are interested in something like that, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click the bell, and you will be buzzed every time I upload. But that's enough chitter chatter. Let's get into this makeup. Don't let this be our final song. So I'm super excited to do this unboxing. I love TJ Maxx. I love everything that they carry, from their home goods section, their clothes, their makeup, their shoes. I always find something in there. And I got is this adorable little beauty blender with this little holder. And this is the beauty blender. It is white, which I would have preferred any color but white, because to me it's always going to look dirty no matter what. I'll have to clean it every single time after I use it because it will drive me nuts. Alright, so since I've dampened it, it has become a lot softer, more bouncy, for sure. It has grown substantially in size, because before, in that little tray, you could barely see the top of it. Now, when you put it in there, it sits perfectly. So that's exciting. The next thing that we're going to get into is this Firm and Plump Ultra Firming Facial Oil with retinol and coconut. This is why I started barefaced, because I wanted to try this out, so I just washed my face first. It has it's kind of a minty scent. I can't really put my finger on it. It reminds me of something. It feels really nice on the skin, very hydrating. Now the next thing on our list is from Pur. It is called the Primer Wardrobe 4-Piece Correcting Primer Collection. So they're little travel size tubes of primer, and there are 4 different kinds. Now this was only $6 for 4 different primers. And when you use primers, you only use a pea-size amount anyway. So travel sizes for trying out new primers, I think, is a great idea. Just so you're not spending the full amount on the big product, because then if you don't like it, you have all this extra product that you tend to use anyway because you don't want to waste the money. So the primers that are included are the Correcting Primer Redness Reducer, which is this green one right here. And then we have this Correcting Primer Illuminate Glow right there. Then we have the Correcting Primer Prep and Perfect, which I believe is just a regular primer. And then the last one is the Correcting Primer Hydrate and Balance, which is a hydrating primer. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go in with a little bit of the green one. Looks like baby food, kind of. See? Very, very green. Now that is to cancel out redness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply that right here under my eyes, because on my cheeks right there, I tend to get a lot of redness. I already feel like I'm hydrated enough after using that serum, so I'm not going to use the Hydrate and Balance or the Illuminating. I'm going to go in with that original primer, and I'm going to just prime the rest of my face with that one. And I'm just going to use a very small amount. And it is a white color. And I'm just going to put that on the rest of my face. Okay. Now, when I went in to TJ Maxx, I was kind of shooketh in a good and bad way. So the good way was that I actually found a lot of things in my shade, which is very rare. Especially when we're talking about things like foundations and concealers and contours. I feel like every time that I find any of that stuff, it's always in very bronzy, medium tones or very deep tones. So it's very hard for me to find foundation at TJ Maxx. However, this time The plus side was I found so many things in my shade. I got a foundation in my shade. I got a contour in my shade. I got some highlighters in my shade. There was a lot of Anastasia products, Becca products. There was some Kat Von D there, Pacifica. There were a lot of name brand stuff there, which was great. The only thing that was downside was they only had one side of an aisle for makeup. Usually it's at least two sides, or it's one side and maybe a couple end caps, but they only had one side of an aisle with makeup and one table. But that was okay because the products that they did have were exponential. So the first thing that I did get for base makeup was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation, and I got this in this can't talk. I got this in the shade Beige. Now, there were two shades that were close to my skin, so I'm hoping that this one is the closest. Kind of. That's really yellow, but we are going to have to make it work. So I'm just going to apply this all over my face. We'll be able to even it out with concealer, so it's okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take that beauty blender that we got, and I'm going to use that to blend everything in. For the first layer of this foundation, it looks okay. I would say it's not full coverage, but then again, I did not apply a lot. I'm going to try and build it up in some of the places that need building. Now don't forget also, when using a beauty blender, it does absorb some of that product. So always remember that too. Usually when I'm trying to go for a more full coverage look, I will blend my cream products out with a brush, like my foundation and concealer, because I feel that a brush doesn't absorb as much product and I get a more full coverage look. That builds nicely. I was kind of worried that my foundation was going to look bad because of that serum and how greasy it looked. But look at how dewy my skin looks. It set very nicely. So moving on. I did get another cream product. It is also from Anastasia. It's the same foundation stick, but I got it in the shade Fawn. And I'm going to use that to contour with. Now, I'm just going to apply a very little bit around the perimeters of my face. And a little bit around my jawline. Just to give some dimensions. And then I'm going to blend that out. This is blending out like a dream. And it's not giving me a whole bunch of color all at once, which actually I like in cream products, because they can be very intimidating, so I like it when I'm able to build it up. Oh, and by the way, my mirror's down here, so if you're wondering why I'm continually looking down, it is because I'm trying to see what I'm doing. And this blend out, so nice. I really like the way this is looking. And the sponge is doing a good job. Ooh, yes, please. Alright. I did not get a new concealer, so I'm just going to go in with the same concealer I always use, the Maybelline Age Rewind. I'm also going to use this to highlight my face as well. And then on that same sponge, I'm going to go in and blend that out. Now see, I've used this same sponge for everything so far. all of my cream products. You can also use it to bake your under eyes with and set your face and then just lightly brush it off. What I'm trying to say is you can use the same brushes for multiple things, the same tools. So, there are actually a couple brands in here that I've never tried. I've used Anastasia before, but I've only used their brow products. I've never used any of their foundations. So that's my first time using their foundations, my first time using Pur. Next thing is this collaboration product between Becca and Jacklyn Hill, which I love Jacklyn Hill. I follow her also. She's great. I love her energy. She's amazing. This is the Shimmering Skin Perfector Slim Light in the shade Champagne Pop. Now, it comes in this gorgeous gold reflecting packaging. And then when we pull it out, it's also in gold packaging. It looks very high-end, very luxury, which is amazing that I found this at TJ Maxx for $5.99. And it's just a little cream highlight stick. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use this to highlight where I would with my normal highlighter. So I'm just going to run it on my cheekbones a little bit on my nose, a little bit on the Cupid's bow, and then I'm actually going to take the Beauty Blender again, and I'm just going to blend that out and soften it up a little bit. But don't worry, we're going to go in with another highlighter on top of this, best believe, because I like to glow, and more is more with highlighter. But look at that. Oh my goodness, look at that. I love that like dew from within type of look. Now, let's hurry up and set all of this before we start creasing. So, stop talking, Kaylee, and move on. Moving on to the next thing is the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D. Now, it came in the unicarton. It was on sale, actually, for $13. Now, pulling it out, it looks super dusty. Like, the makeup is all up on this case. So, I'm really hoping that the inside is looking good, because that worries me that maybe one of the shades busted and that's why there's powder everywhere. Nope. Perfect. It literally hasn't even been swatched. And don't worry, I will insert all swatches of everything. I'll let you see what the primers look like, the cream sticks, all of that. And I'll insert them somewhere in these vicinities. So, moving on. I'm going to take this Banana Shade on a Real Techniques brush. This is their contour brush. I love this for setting my under eyes. And I'm just going to tap, tap, tap that underneath my lash line. Now, I don't bake very often for the simple fact that my skin is super, super dry. And it looks like the Sahara Desert underneath my eyes if I try and bake. No matter what I do, I have not found anything to work. I'm just going to take a little bit of that and dust it on the rest of my face where we placed the highlight, just to set that down. I'm going to take that shade right next door. And I'm taking that on a Wish brush that I actually got a long time ago. And I'm going to go over where we placed down that contour, that cream contour. Now when I go around the perimeter of my face, I don't take more product. I pick up the new product when I'm on my temples, and then I just drag that into the hairline. Now, I didn't get an eyebrow pencil, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this same palette, and I'm going to take this first taupey shade. I'm just going to fill in my eyebrows with this powder. Alright, well that took 1,000 years. I don't usually use powder to do my eyebrows. I'm so used to using a pencil because it's so easy. But that is going to have to work for today. They are not that bad. They're just, I feel like they're just really bold, but it's okay. Moving on. I'm super excited about this next thing. It is so bright and colorful. It is from Pacifica, and it is their Natural Minerals Solar Complete Color Mineral Palette. Bright eyes and sun-kissed highlights. All you need to look naturally gorgeous with coconut-infused eyeshadows and cream highlighters, blush, and bronzer. Looks like this. And you open it up, and you have highlighters, blush, bronzer, and these are all the eyeshadows. I'm going to take this bronzer shade on a fluffy brush. I'm actually using the one from Real Techniques. It is the blush brush, this one here. I'm just going to take a little bit of that bronzer on the tip of my brush because it looks very dark in the pan, as you can see. And I'm just going to take that and just fluff it right on top of that contour. Next, I'm going to take this blush shade on another fluffy brush. This one is from Eco Tools, I believe. It is the full powder brush, just a fluffy brush. This blush is a little deep, so I'm just going to take it very sparingly. Just pop it right on the cheeks, very lightly, and just dust it back. Blend it into that bronzer. They don't really have a lot of options as far as mattes go. So I'm going to dip back into that Shade and Light palette, and we will just use that for our matte shades and blend those into the crease. Because I don't really want to take a shimmer and put it into the crease. So I'm just going to take a fluffy angled crease brush, and I'm going to take that second brown shade on the bottom. I'm just going to fluff that right into my crease. Whew, hello, pigment. Alright, so now that we have our crease blended out, I'm going to go ahead and take... Alright, now that we have our crease blended out, I'm going to go ahead and go into this yellow shade. I went ahead and wet the brush with some setting spray. And I'm just going to pack this all on the lid. Wow, look at that. That is some nice color payoff, for sure. Now, just for the sake of using more shades in this palette, and not just the gold one, I'm going to go in with that light pink shade. And I have my brush wet, and I'm going to put that right in the inner corner. I'm also going to take that same shade and put it across my brow bone. It's okay. It's not giving me that blinding brow bone highlight that I like. But, I mean, it's not bad. I'm actually going to go in with one of those cream highlights. The champagne one. I'm going to put that right on the tippy top of the brow bone. Now that made it a little better. There we go. I'm also going to take that cream one and apply that to the inner corner just to give it a little something extra. And what the heck, let's take this brown shade on the outer corner. Careful, there is some fallout. This has great pigment. And all of these shadows are layering on top of each other very nicely. I'm going to go back in with that crease brush that we used. No additional product. And I'm just going to blend, blend, blend. I did get an actual kit. It came with a whole bunch of things. It came with 2 nail polishes, matte pink one, and a shimmer one. I have not used either one of these yet. It came with a mascara, which I did use in my last video, and I just threw it away because it did not do anything for my lashes. It looked terrible. So terrible. It also has this brush in it. This brush I will never use. It is super scratchy, so don't need that. Next we have a typical black eyeliner. And then we also have a Duopan eyeshadow, a powder highlight, and 2 lip products, an eyeliner and a liquid lipstick, it looks like. And I will insert swatches of all of these things as well. I'm going to go ahead and take that highlighter on a fluffy highlighter brush. There is a lot of pickup on the brush. And I'm just going to apply that right on top of the highlighter and just see if that does anything. Ooh, I like that. And this whole kit was $3. So $3 for 2 eyeshadows, a highlighter, 2 nail polishes, an eyeliner, a lip liner, a liquid lipstick, and a mascara. Now, not everything in this is going to be a gem, but really, $3? I would pay $3 just for this highlight. I really like this highlight. Alright, well, front and center that will go. Now I'm going to use that black eyeliner and go ahead and run it in my waterline and tight line. Excuse my ridiculous faces. That eyeliner was super rough on my eyes. That's why they were freaking out and fluttering everywhere. So I'm going to take this plum shade in the bottom corner in that Pacifica palette. I'm just going to take that on a tiny detailed brush. And I'm going to fluff this all along my bottom lash line, really smoking out that black eyeliner. I'm actually going to go back into that highlighter from that kit, and I'm going to spray it with some setting spray. And I'm going to apply that right in the center corner and brighten that up some more. I did get some mascara from TJ Maxx. It is from the brand Beauty Concepts. Looks like this. It claims to give you 3 times the volume and length, so I'm curious to see how that goes. It does make them look longer for sure. I'm going to play with it a little bit more. The brush was kind of weird for me, so it made it hard for me to apply, but I'm going to give it another try. Now let's go ahead and move on to the lip products that came in that little kit. It came with this lip liner and a liquid lipstick. Now I will insert a swatch somewhere over here. These are like a mauve-y pink kind of a color. So I'm going to take that lip liner and just outline my lips with this. Now right on top, I'm going to go in with that liquid lipstick. Doesn't really have a smell to it. Alright, well, I don't know about this lipstick. Just the texture of it's really weird. I had to apply multiple coats just to get this color payoff, and I just don't like the way it feels on my lips. I got this Bare Minerals Marvelous Moxie lip gloss in the shade Birthday Babe. So let's hope this can save the day. It smells minty, which I like. I don't mind a minty gloss at all. That looks better. It's not really a jelly formula either. At least not on top of that liquid lip, which I like because I hate it when a gloss is so tacky that you can feel it sitting on your lips. That drives me nuts. Now the next thing, I've never really tried anything like this before. It is a Glitz and Glow 24 karat gold body oil. I'm assuming it's a lot like those body oil highlights that you see a lot of. It looks like this. Has a little dropper. Now, the way I'm going to apply this is you can apply it with your hands, I'm assuming, but I'm really weird about having sticky stuff on my hands. I don't know how this is going to be consistency-wise. So I'm just going to drop a little bit of it on a kabuki brush. And I'm just going to rub that into the shoulder. Yes, please. I like this. This will definitely be getting used this summer. Alright y'all, well that completes this video. For this being my first ever full face, I'm actually really impressed. I got pretty much everything I needed for a full face of makeup. The only thing that I had to use of my own was the concealer. But besides that, everything else that I used was all things that I purchased. So thumbs up to that, yay. There are a couple things that I got that I will not use again for sure. Like a lot of things that came in that Maxx Studio palette, the liquid lipstick and the lip liner and the eyeliner. I don't think I'm going to use those again. They were just not working for me. The eyeliner and the lip liner were very stiff, and that liquid lipstick didn't give me the payoff that I needed. As far as the highlighter goes in that though, it was bomb, so we'll definitely be keeping that close. I will try the Duo eyeshadow also and see how that performs. Of course, I will use the Shade and Light palette again. It's great. Everybody knows it's great. I'm going to play a little more with these primers that I got from Pur. I definitely like the way my face makeup is looking today, for sure. So I'm going to definitely be using this combo again from Anastasia. I did like that cream highlight from Jacklyn Hill and Becca, so I will for sure be using that again. Now the Pacifica Natural Minerals palette, I'm going to keep working with it, try out some different looks. I did like how the eyeshadows performed, as well as the blush and the contours. The cream highlighters I wasn't a fan of, but I'm going to try and play with that a little bit as well. Of course, I loved the 24 karat gold body oil. That was great. I'm going to continue using the plumping serum, and I will maybe update you on an empties or something, how that performed. But all in all, this was a great video. I really liked a lot of the things that I purchased, and a lot of the things are going to be making their way up front and center on my beauty table. But anyway, that is enough talking. So if you would like to, you can follow me on other social media such as Instagram, Twitter, or Snapchat. I will leave all that listed below, along with all of the products that I named today. And of course, don't forget to stay humble and forever beautiful. See you next time.